You know what they say, when you're here, you're family.
You know what they should say, let's go to Buca Di Beppo instead.
And I'm just here for the free chicken parm.
This is a hot dog is a sandwich.
Ketchup is a smoothie.
Yeah, I put ice in my cereal, so what?
That makes no sense.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
A hot dog is a sandwich.
What? Welcome to our podcast, A Hot Dog is a Sandwich, the show we break down the world's biggest food debates. I'm your host, Josh Scherer.
And I'm your host, Nicole Inayati.
And today we are joined by actress, singer, and member of Smosh, Angela Giarratana.
Thank you.
How did I do on the Giarratana of it all?
I think you did fine. I think I've heard my dad says Giarratana. My mom says Giarratana. Everyone says their own version.
Right.
We did not only ask you here to eat all of this deliciously authentic Italian food from Olive Garden and a Buca Di Beppo, because you are Italian, but you do exude a certain amount of Italianness.
Thank you so much. But it's very funny that I think I exude this type of Italianness,
Correct.
which isn't real Italy. It's corporate America, affordable Italian food.
Our favorite.
Okay, so Olive Garden definitely, I mean, both are. This is a very specific lens through which to view the thousands of years of history of Italy, right? But the founder of Buca Di Beppo actually did that like very, very intentionally, where he was like, this is the culture I grew up with. I grew up with, you know, the Frank Sinatra version of Italian-Americanness, and he straight up designed Bucas the way that he did because he wanted to like show that kind of corny, good-natured side of Italian-Americanness, which I think is really rad. And like when I think of corny, good-natured Italian-Americans, Angela, you are the top of the list.
Do I come to your mind?
You really genuinely
Josh
do.
knows how to woo a woman, doesn't he? He sure does.
We were going over something earlier that you and I have a long food history together because I likely delivered you yogurts and stale muffins in college.
Okay, so walk me through that. I don't even understand.
I worked for UCLA Catering, the second best catering company on campus. UCLA Catering, they wore the polos and they were way better than us. But we would deliver like cold coffee and stale muffins and warm yogurts to the theater building.
Theater department.
And you and I would have overlapped by at least like 2 years there, yeah. So if you ate a stale muffin, it was likely delivered by my unwashed hands.
Oh my gosh, that's the beginning of our story, our food story.
Yes.
Romantic.
Wow, that's crazy.
And look at us now. Do you have any other memories of that? Maybe the sandwiches with the brown lettuce?
Don't remember those. I did something crazy over there where near the UCLA, near the theater department, they had the like a hotel for like guests and professors.
Yeah, they did.
And they always had a continental breakfast every morning at 9 a.m.
No, you didn't.
And you bet your ass.
I didn't know that.
Me and my best friend, we would walk over there because it's like pretty undercover. You don't even know it's like a hotel. It's like very small. And we'd always get a coffee and a muffin, always from there.
There you go.
So maybe you dropped stuff there.
I probably did, I'm sure. I thought you were going to say you just like macked on the entire continental breakfast. You were like making yourself omelets and
100%.
waffles.
No,
Love
100%.
that.
Very good.
Yeah, and then at some point they'd always go like, what room number are you guys? And we're like, my mom's upstairs. And then we'd leave and then go to class.
Nice. My biggest memory from that catering company is we would serve the football team, breakfast and lunch. And so there's a bunch of, future NFL draft picks. But Deshaun Foster, UCLA legend, now the head coach of UCLA, he stared at the greasiest pulled pork you'd ever seen in front of me and said, what is that? And I go, oh, this is pulled pork. And he goes, man, that's not pulled pork. That's pulled grease. And I was like, I loved watching you in that 2003 season, and I thought that the Panthers cut you way too early, Mr. Foster.
Oh, God.
He was correct. It was just untenably greasy pulled pork. So, Deshaun Foster, if you listen to this, still loved your play style, vertical, slashing running back.
I don't think
different
he's
breed back
watching
then.
it. I'm so sorry.
And that pulled pork was too greasy. We got to get into this. Do you have any initial thoughts about Olive Garden in Buca Di Beppo? I know Smosh has a unique connection to Buca Di Beppo.
Tell the people.
They do, which was alarming to me when I first started working there because my family hates Buca.
Nice, okay.
And kind of likes Olive Garden, but for some reason, I think my mom, and I called my dad this morning, and I was like, why do you and mom hate Buca? And he goes, one bad meal.
Right. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. One bad impression, you're done.
Yeah. And my parents are very specific. If the sauce is a little too sweet, they're out.
Okay.
But they're not snobs. They're like New York Italian. My dad's very New York Italian, very just bought like shitty cheese, like the Kroger cheese, what I grew up on. Like not really sophisticated stuff, but for
You talking
some
about
reason.
the green shaker bottle cheese?
Yes.
Oh,
Of course.
extra
Shaky cheese
chewy
is
with
the
the wood
best.
pulp. It's great.
100%. It's the one Snooki uses all the time. But so they hate Buca, but Olive Garden, not too far off. But at some point in my family, we started going to Olive Garden, like towards, because I think my parents wanted cheap Italian food. Because in LA, there's like expensive Italian.
Yeah, the spectrum's crazy.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of like mom and pops that I know of that
Very
are
few.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Italian and Chinese, like there aren't a ton of mom and pops. Like we grew up with Olive Garden and Panda Express for our Italian and Chinese like cheap options.
Yeah, I was more of a Sbarro girl.
love
If
tomorrow.
you want to know the truth.
Because you were at the food court?
Of course. I've only had Olive Garden twice. Like I went and sat down there twice, and I did get food poisoning both times I went there.
No way.
But I'm feeling good about this. You know, I reheated this up to 165, so we're hoping
Hell
we're
yeah.
not gonna poop a lot from this. We'll see.
We were a straight up Buca Di Beppo mixed family. So
Nice.
my Vietnamese stepmom, Buca Di Beppo was her favorite restaurant in the entire world because I think for her, she like saw Americana in it. And this was the prize jewel of the Buca Di Beppo table for my Vietnamese
which is
stepmother.
this? What
A
is it?
half-pound meatball.
The big one.
The big one. They served you just a giant meatball, and for her, that was like, oh, this is American opulence. And like,
Because
I
it's
want,
big?
Because it's big. It's too big.
It's
so
too
like
big.
literally in Italy, like you have these are pretty standard American sized meatballs. This is a large ostentatious caricature of a Buca di Beppo meatball. In Italy, like polpette or polpettine, they're tiny little guys.
Yeah, little guys.
Yeah.
You know, they're just little guys. And so this is the Pokemon evolution of meatballs. So you eventually get the Buca di Beppo over here. But Olive Garden, like growing up in Orange County, that was birthdays. It was basketball team banquets.
After prom, pre-prom.
After prom,
Sure.
we would go there when they did their soup salad and breadsticks for $8.99. Me and my
Yes.
buddy would go there after skimboarding at the beach for 6 hours. We'd
Cute.
walk in like wet board shorts and wouldn't tip because we only had a $10 in our pocket.
Why would
so
you tip?
I'm sorry, Laguna Hills.
It's a board shorts problem. It's not them. You can't put a wallet in
Pulling
your
out a
board
wet
shorts.
tenner.
You can't.
So I have a lot of history here. Should we start? Should we dig in?
I'm so freaking stoked.
I'm putting my
Same
laptop
here.
down.
Same.
Yeah,
I was going to
pulling
use
my
it as a
sleeves up.
plate. Okay, where should we start here? Angela, you are the guest. We got meatballs, chicken fettuccine Alfredo, and then the chicken parmigiana.
Wow.
And there's bread. There's bread.
Maybe
kind
we
of-
start with the bread? Is that
Sure
crazy?
we can. Let me.
Do it the way the waitress would intend?
Sure. So we got garlic bread from Buca di Beppo, and then we got the breadsticks from Olive Garden. Buca di Beppo did not give us a side of marinara, demerit,
For
but
shame.
Olive Garden did give the option of a side of marinara. So go ahead and dip. Go crazy.
We're dipping in. So Olive Garden is obviously known for their breadsticks. Here, grab one.
Take one, pass it down.
Everyone pass it down?
Olive Garden known for unlimited breadsticks and salad, and that was like a huge draw when they opened in Orlando, 1982. It was like a massive success.
Right.
But don't you have unlimited bread at the table for like other chain restaurants? So what's the big deal?
We definitely do. I think maybe they were one of the first to really start it. I know with the salad they definitely were. The ironic thing about their breadsticks, so we've talked about this before in the show. Olive Garden was like massively failing. They were heading towards bankruptcy, and it's a massive business. There's about 1,000 locations of Olive Garden.
Right.
A company did a 250-page audit on all of the Olive Garden's practices, a consulting firm, and they were like, here's what you could do better. They're like, 73% of respondents said that your pasta is, quote, tasteless, and we noticed you don't salt your pasta water.
Crazy.
What if you did that?
Can you imagine
Olive
that?
Garden execs went,
I learned to do that at 6.
dude,
Same.
Olive Garden execs said, well, it would degrade the pans faster, so we're not going to do it. And then they went, okay. 89% of people said, if the breadsticks sit on the table for longer than 90 seconds, they get cold and stale. A little like these.
Yeah.
What if you just serve people one breadstick, and if they want more, you grab them?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, there's got to be 6 in a basket. Stop trying to change the Olive Garden.
Oh my gosh. so
Wow.
dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this breadstick has like a sponge.
Very spongy.
Like a napkin substancy.
Right. And I will
Substance.
say it's perfectly salted though. I will say the salt levels are kind of incredible. It's right down the middle, not too salty, not undersalted.
Run your finger across the top.
There's
Gladly.
a patina. Yeah,
It's
there's
interesting.
a
There's a-
patina. There's a glaze. It is glazed with margarine-like
Isn't that
substance.
nice? But then there's a bit of a roughness to it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a cat's tongue, like a sandpapery cat's tongue on it.
It's the garlic powder.
That's very pleasant for me.
God, that was great. That felt great.
I feel so nostalgic. Give me some Buca di Beppo bread.
Here you go, babes. Go wild.
Ironically, all of the entrees that we have picked, none of these like really exist in these forms in Italy at all. Like at all. Like chicken parmesan, not a thing at all. It's like based on eggplant parmesan or melanzana. Chicken fettuccine Alfredo certainly does not exist.
No.
What?
Maybe it should.
Really?
Would you know that?
No, I don't know any of this shit.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I just assumed your native latent Italianness.
I only know the Jersey Shore. Wait, tell me, this isn't a dish in Italy?
No, so Alfredo technically was invented in Italy. It was invented in Rome by a chef. His name was just Alfredo. And his wife was pregnant and he wanted to kind of give her like something comforting to eat. And so he mixed butter, Parmesan, a little bit of pasta water with pasta, called it Alfredo sauce. That then came to America via the silent movie stars Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, me too. Mary Pickford. Yeah. Of course.
Definitely Douglas.
Yeah, of course, Mary
You ever been to Musso and Frank in
Yes.
Hollywood?
Yeah, of course.
So Musso and Frank has been serving the original Roman Alfredo dish because Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks
No
wanted it
way.
there. However, Alfredo sauce just got like bastardized over time, just turned into some like cream emulsion
I
in
love
a jar.
it. I love
And then
it.
Cotton candy.
In Italy,
Yeah.
it's like in Italy they don't really eat chicken like that. They say chicken is for like the old and the sick.
Oh, really? Like they don't do chicken pasta. They don't do chicken
Especially
on
no
pizza.
chicken pasta.
Yeah,
They'll
they're
roast
no
chicken,
chicken on
certainly.
pizza.
But no chicken on pizza, no chicken on pasta because chickens are better used to lay eggs. To then mix into the pasta and then use for carbonara and stuff like that. And
Now
so-
that you're saying
yeah.
that, this is crazy because I think I grew up ordering Alfredo because it was the closest thing that my grandma would make for me. She never made Alfredo. She always made me, like when I was sick or anytime I was over, she would always make me pastina, which was just like literally like a milky soup almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I started to be obsessed with fettuccine Alfredo because that was the closest thing at a restaurant you can get.
You're 100% right.
I always viewed fettuccine Alfredo as like fancy for some reason.
Me too.
Why did we think that?
Because my mom wouldn't let me have it. She's like, no cream-based sauces in the house.
Like some
Why?
almond mom stuff?
Almond mom. But when I had like 18, when I was 18 and I had my own money, I'm like, let's go to Olive Garden. So I definitely associated cream-based sauces as fancier. Anytime we went out, I was like, I'm gonna get the cream sauce. I'm gonna get the Alfredo. I'm still like that today though. Honestly, when I go out, I try to get a cream sauce when I'm feeling super fancy.
Me too.
This is true.
It's really a treat yourself thing.
It is.
But
is.
it doesn't treat you well
makes
at
it-
all.
I'm a lactose intolerant baddie, but that doesn't bother me. Should we
Hell
eat?
yeah.
Should we eat our
Wait,
chicken
where are
fettuccine?
we feeling on the bread right
Oh,
here?
oh, I'm so sorry. The garlic
Let's
bread.
judge-
Garlic
let's
bread's
judge
better
some
from
bread.
Yeah.
The garlic bread from Buca Di Beppo is better.
Yeah.
Why did these breadsticks have such a chokehold on the nation for like 25 years?
Okay.
I
Had
don't think
America
they were
never
other-
had a breadstick before? Because these don't hold up.
I'm actually thinking now, I don't know about a lot of bread sticks at chain restaurants, a lot of bread.
Yeah.
But where do you see like a nice packaged little guy like that?
I mean, it's beautiful. I'll give it that. It's beautiful. It's uniform. It's even, but it doesn't taste that good.
Yeah, I love how easily it fits in the mouth. You know what I mean? I want to just shove like a little hot dog in there and kind of use it
Boom.
like a...
It shines incredibly.
It's kind of a beautiful product. It just doesn't taste very good is the only problem.
Yeah.
It tastes very good.
You know?
Looks like
Hate
it's made
that.
for camera and camera only.
You're so right. It
Yeah.
does look like a camera-ready food.
All right, we're jumping into the Angela Giarratana special chicken fettuccine Alfredo. We've banned saying any Italian words with a vowel at the end in our kitchen. I don't know if you
You've
know
done that.
Which I love that you said spaghetti completely unprompted. Yeah, I didn't. I
don't do
I meant
that.
to say me, not we.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah, spaghetti.
I
This
say
is This is
Alfredo.
fettuccine Alfredo.
Alfred.
Chicken
I've never
parm.
heard Alfred.
Never heard Alfred?
I'm used to spaghetti and spaghetti only.
Why is this good?
Which one? This is
Buca di Beppo.
Buca Di Beppo. I want to try their chicken. I'm curious to see if they're using any actual like techniques to make their chicken less dry.
I think the chicken might be steamed.
Oh.
I think the chicken might be poached or steamed.
Interesting.
When Smosh gets Buca Di Beppo Catering, I just pack it up and then I just have it the next morning when I'm like hungover.
So good.
It's good hungover food, but I don't know.
I need to know.
Is their
how
chicken fried in an egg batter? You know what I'm talking about?
I
It's
feel
like a
like-
weirdly Italian technique.
I feel like the chicken is poached in a liquid and sliced. Maybe
could be it.
Do you taste that? Do you see the texture on the chicken? How it's a little spongy, a little streaky.
I do, but there's also a little bit of kind of goo on the outside of it, and I can't tell if that's just Alfredo sauce clinging to it, or if it's an
Or is
egg
it a
batter.
separate goo?
I think that it might be a separate goo.
A separate
So
goo.
they have a dish at
Saying
Buca Di
it so.
Beppo. We would always get the apple gorgonzola salad. Still holds up.
I couldn't even get
Oh, Angela
Couldn't even get
Marie
through it.
Giarratana.
You always gotta get the chopped salad with the salami and the pepperoncini.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No
Thank
way, man.
you.
No, I love the way the mustard, the apples, and the blue cheese interact before my meal.
That's
Vomit.
just not, no.
Vom.
There's a dish called chicken saltimbocca from there that I think absolutely rips. It is so good. We
Right.
couldn't get it because it doesn't fit with the milieu here, but it's like a pounded chicken breast. So they do the egg batter.
Okay.
So there's no flour and it's not crispy, but it's this like egg battered chicken. It's a very Italian, Southern Italian cooking technique.
Okay.
And then they put like brown butter, sage, crispy prosciutto, and lemon. And it's just it's a good standalone dish that can hold up anywhere.
And what do they call it?
Chicken saltimbocca.
Saltimbocca?
Saltimbocca, but we dropped the A.
Josh,
Saltimbocca. A little
drop the A.
saltimboog.
He's got to keep
Little
on dropping the A for
saltimboog.
some
Come
reason.
on.
Drop the A, why don't you?
My grandma adds A's to everything and says it's Italian, but it's English. Like I grew up thinking a purse was a pocketbuco. And then we were like, you mean a pocketbook? Or she'd say, no joke, she'd say ice cremo.
Oh, that's so sweet. I
Really
love grandmas,
embarrassing.
dude. I love grandmas. It's the best.
That's right.
This is really good.
Buca's really good. It's creamy, it's dreamy, it's good. It's not too heavy either, which I like.
Something we need to get to is Olive Garden's gone through their financial troubles, certainly. Buca Di Beppo is officially bankrupt. I know you know
I was
this.
going to
right?
say.
R.I.P.
It's so sad to. It's so sad. I mean, their decor alone, it's like they're really serving in those little rooms.
The little Pope table, the
Yeah.
table with the Pope, my
Olive
favorite
Garden,
table.
yeah, I love the Pope table.
You got to sit at the Pope table.
Olive Garden's giving like Airbnb art
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Tuscan like kitchen circa 2000.
Like it's art
Yeah.
of a window. And
Yeah,
like,
you're so right.
This isn't doing anything for anyone.
Fake
You'll see
vines.
the same like sailboat picture in two corners of the restaurant and just be like,
Meanwhile, Buca Di Beppo, I feel like is gay.
yeah, Buca
Olive
Di Beppo
Garden's
is
straight.
Gay.
You're
What about
so right.
that?
Buca di Beppo's very gay.
Maggiano's Little Italy, asexual demi-romantic, actually. Maggiano's. They're out here repping for the Aero, not Ace crowd.
Okay, this rips for me harder than that one all of
You're
a
so
sudden.
right.
I'm thinking because of the cheese.
You think
Why
this
does
one's better? You think Olive Garden is better than Buca Di Beppo?
I don't know, but having it side by side, this one hit harder. I don't know why.
I'm tasting no seasoning from the pasta in here. Wait,
What?
taste the pasta again. I'm getting no seasoning. Maybe I had a
Taste
bad
the
bite.
chicken. Eat the chicken.
The chicken's great. This chicken, so you can tell. Okay, see how the chicken is like smooth like lunch meat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, right? So that means that this has been like a salt brine for a long, long time. This has just been sitting in a saltwater solution, which kind of makes it taste better. It makes it taste a little more processed, a little less homemade. Mm-hmm. I've got that
Oh,
snap
it's like
to it.
yeah.
I'll say this. The noodles and the sauce, completely flavorless and tasteless. The chicken, though, is the saving grace. If you eat everything all together, a piece of chicken, a little sauce, a little bit of noodle, it tastes good as a bite combined.
This is a dish.
This is a dish. You need to eat each part of it together, but if you have like leftover noodles, you won't like it. With the Buca di Beppo one, it is a more homogeneous, uniform, delicious, pleasant flavor combination. You don't need to eat the chicken to say, oh, that's yummy. You don't need to eat the It's good. You know what I mean? Are you picking up what I'm putting
Buca di
down?
Beppo tastes like something. Olive Garden tastes like nothing. That's all I'm getting.
This is just
That's all I'm
something.
getting.
Nothing special. And this is nothing.
I
Nothing.
feel like I'm tasting salt. I'm tasting garlic.
Yeah.
I'm getting the cream. This Buca di Beppo, listen, they were like owned by the Planet Hollywood
That's right.
family of restaurants for
They
a
were,
while,
they
and
were.
then went through all these troubles and changed hands, and now they're going bankrupt. They're not like a little mom and pop shop. However, this tastes like a person cooked it. You know what I mean?
Which I
Olive
like.
Garden, this
Which I
tastes
like.
like this was run through a Rube Goldberg machine
Okay, so-
system, and it ended up on a plate. Does that make sense?
Yes. Am I so effed up that I like stuff made by a machine because I grew up here? And I just grew up in America?
Yeah, you're effed up.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, whoa, that is crazy, and I could taste that. But why do things is it some weird like backwards now things that taste processed my body's just used to more and it's more familiar?
I think it's the science of the processed foods that makes you love it so much. You know, there's like people in like there's R&D, research and development, where there's like chefs and scientists sitting there trying to make you crave this food and try to make you obsessed with this food.
And I listen.
That's fine. Me too. I mean, it's very, very human to like love processed, more salty, more sugary, more like MSG foods. It's done that way by design.
yeah, I'm like,
we're
falling for
we're
it.
like lab rats. You ever read those studies? Like we gave a rat cheese and we gave the other rat cocaine, and we saw how many times they could hit a button, you know? And then they're like, really?
We are the cocaine rats.
We are the cocaine and
and I'm
cheese
just
rats.
here to listen and respond.
Exactly. That's all we're here for.
No, I was talking to Julia. We had some cherry flavored dessert, and she tasted it and goes, "Oh, this tastes like cough syrup." I'm like, "No, No, the cough syrup tastes like that dessert.
Yeah.
They made the cough syrup taste like the dessert because people like the dessert. But she didn't grow up eating processed food. She didn't have like a crazy almond granola, whatever, mom. She was just like, oh, I love my kids. I'm going to cook nice foods for them. So she only associates artificial flavor with medicines. That's the only time she would have really had them. And so you and I grew up little garbage kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, just drinking Slurpees all
like
the time.
Like a freaking adult.
I know.
Eating like processed stuff.
Going in the Walmart, getting a 99-cent icy, so I'd shut the hell up while my parents are trying to find the best deal on batteries.
Oh, sweet. And look how great you both turned out.
The chicken is so wildly overseasoned. The pasta is so wildly underseasoned. Take half the salt in the chicken, put it in the damn pasta.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's fine.
You're right.
I will concede if you two think that Olive Garden should win.
No. I don't know. I'm torn because I think you're right. Having this chicken alone, the Olive Garden chicken alone, was better.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
If the chicken from the Olive Garden was with the Buca Di Beppo sauce and noodles, I would have been a happy camper.
Yeah, but the Buca Di Beppo noodles feel like so much work has been done.
You're so right.
Like I feel like they got like Botox is in these noodles versus this. I taste like it's pasta. Does that make sense? And maybe that's because it's bland, but I can like literally taste the noodle. All I can taste is like junk.
I think we should give it to Buca.
Yeah?
I think I'm going to give it to
Officially
Buca.
giving it to Buca?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a better.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should talk about Buca Di Beppo's name, by the way. Do you
I keep
know
saying
what it means?
Peppo,
You keep saying Peppo, which is
and it's Beppo.
Buca di Beppo.
Di Beppo.
Beppo is short for Giuseppe. Beppo is a nickname for Giuseppe. And so Buca is like a Tuscan slang for little hole. So it's Giuseppe's little hole. We're eating Giuseppe's little hole right now.
I'm happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here.
So let's walk
Chicken
that
parm-
back.
No. So it literally does translate. Sorry, you were saying.
No. Keep going because who's what?
Giuseppe Beppo.
Giuseppe's little
Beppo
hole.
for short.
Why don't you get Giuseppe's little hole?
No, but like little hole meaning like cozy little room. So you'd like retire to my
of
den, my
course.
cozy little, not your hole is a cozy little room.
It's
I'm
speak for
saying,
yourself, buddy. You can't say the F word, but you can make like silly little
Yeah,
jokes
you
like
can
that.
say
yourself, buddy.
Giuseppe's little hole is so much more vulgar than the F word. We need to get through that. Right
Giuseppe's little hole. I couldn't move on to these meatballs before we talked about
now.
it.
Yeah, okay.
Should we do
Go
meatballs
on to
first?
Meatballs.
Okay, meatballs first.
Oh hell yeah.
Look at this big honking ball.
More people say it's like Giuseppe's basement or Giuseppe's den, but I like little hole better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm digging into this. Sorry, everybody.
The meatball, this is a huge part of my childhood. It just sits on a gigantic nest of undressed spaghetti. I remember it being very big. I don't ever remember it being good. Also, it is kind of like a medium. It's like a pink medium in the middle, which is interesting.
It's like a sunset in there.
Technically, this shouldn't be allowed. Nicole, you and I knowing what we know about food safety.
I was
Am
about
I
to
gonna
say
be okay?
the same thing.
Were you?
No.
Are we gonna
USDA
be okay?
guidelines say 165 degrees for any ground meat. This is not 165. You don't get that pink with anything over
You know
155.
We're,
Like it's fine for us to eat because we're professionals.
live
Yeah.
fast, die young. Bad girls do it well.
There you go. And it's content, okay?
Yeah. Just suffer for content like you usually do.
Literally.
It tastes really good though. I kind of like the texture of it. Am I crazy? Am I crazy?
Angela, how do you feel about the size?
Okay, I'll say the size is what I know from just making meatballs on my own. I don't know much about, fire and, elements and what that does
Okay.
and what it does to meat and how,
waterbender.
But it being bigger makes me feel like it's drier. I feel like in the beginning, in the middle, it's really dry. And I feel like smaller meatballs, am I just like, is that wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It just feels dry to me.
I think
it's
this
dense
isn't-
and dry. It's a dense
Yeah.
and dry meatball, but the flavor is good.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the size, because I know what you're saying. Like on these meatballs, you're getting a harder sear on the outside.
Like the Olive Garden ones?
You know what I mean? On the Olive Garden meatballs, you're getting a harder sear on the outside because they are a lot smaller.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, this is a meatloaf, right? We can all agree on
Yeah,
that.
exactly. Like, this
It's
is
meatloafy.
It's a personal pan
meatloafy.
meatloaf, and that's sort of my problem with it. Which I guess, yeah, meatloaf probably
Is it a problem
denser.
though? But like when you go to Buca Di Beppo, it's family-sized portions anyways, right? And like you're going there, you're going with like a big group of people, you're trying to share things, and I think like that's the general vibe of the place. So the meatball reflects the vibe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
but I also think size is a really important thing. I'm thinking, like, could you imagine asking for cupcakes and you get a cake? That's what this
Good
feels
point.
like.
Point Angela.
Point
This
Angela.
Angela.
feels like, whoa, excuse me, little hole. I didn't order this, Mr. Man from the Hole. I ordered a smaller version of this because it's different.
Imagine just a little Italian hobbit, coming out, big old hairy feet. I have ironically seen full-size cakes that are decorated like cupcakes. So this is one of those things where meatballs, we talked about this, balls are sexier than loaves.
I
right?
agree.
Meatballs, you would go to
Have you guys had that conversation
We've
before?
talked about a lot of
that
stuff.
balls are sexier than loaves.
Actually,
Of course,
yeah.
yes. We've decided.
I love you guys.
How many? Okay, I want to talk about broccolini later on because I saw your TikTok about it.
Oh my
but
God.
At the restaurant that you went to, they probably had like meatballs on that menu. If they had roasted broccolini, there was probably some like $18 plate of meatballs. That's an acceptable sexy date night thing
Yes.
to order for the table.
Sure.
Would you ever
the
order
sexy broccolini?
sexy broccolinis and sexy meatballs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like my go-to order. Would you ever order like a sexy meatloaf on a date?
100% no.
The word meatloaf is inherently unsexy. Loaf equals unsexy. So no, if I'm trying to be
what I'm
sexy
saying.
on a date, of course I'm not going to get a meatloaf.
Yeah. I'm honestly thinking, like, how could meatloaf be sexy if it's, like, sliced really thin?
We have to change the name. We would have to
razor
change
thin
the name.
ribbons of loaf.
Like,
Yeah.
really thin little...
Let's see.
Do they have chefs in person in Olive Gardens anymore?
Oh, my God.
It's so good.
You guys love it?
No.
I love it.
What's crazy is putting these side by side, and now I understand the show.
It's great. Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, there's a lot of bread in the Olive Garden one.
Yeah. Is that what I'm tasting?
The ratio to breadcrumb to meat is
meat?
much higher in the Olive Garden one. The Buca Di Beppo one is like a meatball.
I taste meat here. I don't taste meat over there.
You're tasting like this sausagey kind of snap. It tastes like a breakfast
So
sausage
true.
that they would serve at school lunch.
So
Yeah.
true.
And so what that snap is coming from is the salt sitting in that meat, and it literally changes the protein structures the longer salt sits in there. This is 5 times saltier than Buca.
It is.
All of the meats at Olive Garden are so salted.
So salty.
I'd
And
say
the rest
10
of the food's
times.
not.
Yeah.
These are different. They're so different.
Yeah.
I give the edge to Buca.
100%.
I don't care if it's big, dense, dry, dumb. It's America.
At least I taste what it is.
You're right. It
At
is
least
what
I
it is.
know. At least she's being an honest woman.
Exactly. It's a meat ball, while over here it's a bread ball. The Olive Garden is more like a bready. It looked factory, like it was made in a factory.
Yeah, man.
But like my initial, like my like carnal brain was like, ooh, good, yum, more.
Exactly.
Which is, we need to fight against that.
And I fell for that in the beginning, and now I'm like really tasting it.
No, we can't allow this to happen any longer. We must
Man.
be good women.
All right.
We must be good women.
must be good women.
Buca right now is like they're up 3-0, right? There's no.
And
there's
here's
no-
the thing: it makes sense why they're bankrupt because they're using real ingredients.
I know.
So it's so sad that this one is successful.
It's like bumming me out to realize that reality of like, well, there's probably 30% less meat in this ball, which means it's probably going to be 28% cheaper, right?
Which means you can open 3 more franchises.
Yes.
Like Pacoima.
Oh, and then ghost kitchens. Olive Garden's got the ghost kitchens
Yeah, it's
now.
pretty depressing.
All right, dig into the chicken parm. This to me is the king.
Are you a chicken parm girl?
Oh, God, I love that question. Are you a chicken parm girl? Hold for chew. Never been at the top of my list.
Right.
I'm just not like, I love chicken, I love meat, but I'm always pasta forward. Okay, this is a good chicken parm.
I feel about chicken parm how I feel about pancakes. You get them for the table. You get a chicken parm. You get a chicken parm for the table. I don't want to eat all
get it for
chicken
the
parm.
table?
You get everybody gets a pasta. You get chicken parm. For
You
the
get
table.
chicken parm for the table. My brother, since I was little, always gets a sandwich for the table. Like almost
do you
as,
share a
almost
sandwich?
as an appetizer.
How do you share a sandwich?
I don't even know, but he always goes, "You guys mind if we get a sandwich to the table?" And I'm like, "What? It's not a flatbread, John. What are we gonna do with it? I'll take a bite out of it."
Do you think me and your brother would be friends?
100%.
I feel like we would
brother's name
definitely
is
be
John.
friends. Does he lift?
No,
Does he want to learn?
no, probably
All right,
not.
cool. We'll still hang
He's
out.
super Italian and only wants to complain about food. I think
I'm
you guys-
one of
Jewish
those
and all
things.
we want to
I think
do
you
is
guys would be
complain about food.
It's like
I don't like
it's
it.
pretty bad. It tastes
You don't
bad.
like it?
I didn't like it.
Tastes that's burnt. Oil's
I
old.
think the bottom is burnt. Yeah, the
Chicken
bottom's
wildly chewy.
Couldn't really
so
find the
dry.
chicken.
Yeah.
It felt.
Well, I gotta eat the plain spaghetti with the tomatoes.
burnt. I did.
Is
I was
it
there.
nice? It's
I
nice?
did.
It's good?
I was there.
You enjoy the spaghetti?
No,
No?
I don't like it.
Hey, do you know that Olive Garden stopped using the phrase "when you hear your family" 12 years ago, and we've just all kept saying it as a nation?
What?
Well, we're gonna keep saying it.
Do you know their new phrase?
No.
Just It's just go Olive Garden. It's worse than eat. Go Olive Garden.
I'm starting to think all of these places are dropping like any type of food references in their things. Have you heard Burger King's? Whoa. Sorry, almost fell off my chair there during that slurp. Felt like a slip and slide. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I got really excited because
Burger King's?
Not Burger King, but the general idea that we're post food.
Yes.
Yeah. What's Burger King's new slogan?
Don't make fun of me for going to Burger King because I just brought this up in a Smosh video and everyone stopped and went, "You went to Burger King?"
They do really good.
We
work.
would never judge you.
Yeah, I love their ham and cheese croissant thing when I'm hungover in the morning. A croissant sandwich. So I'm going through, and the guy looks at me, and I say, "1 croissant sandwich and a Sprite, please." He goes, "You got it. You rule." Then I went to the second window, gave my money, was handed his sandwich, and he went, "You rule." And I was like, that has nothing to do with the product you just handed me.
Gosh.
Correct.
It's just building me up.
Oh, the product was never there. The product was all how you feel. You don't want the croissant sandwich because it's like a croissant and ham. You want it because of the way the croissant sandwich makes you feel when you're hungover.
No, they have
right?
They have this crazy ad. It's the guy who sings la 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 la. And then says, "You rule" at the end.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's because of the ads.
Taco Bell's just live Moss. That's
Do they say live Moss?
That's basically
when they give
carpe diem. Like that's
what are we doing?
The same phrase.
We're just actually like giving each other like encouragement, and that's it.
Yes, Angela. Yes, our parents couldn't give us
Everyone's
self-esteem,
sad.
but the
Because
Burger
everyone is
King
so sad.
can. You know, no one ever. Everyone said, you should go to school and get a job. No, Taco Bell told me you should live Moss, man.
Live Moss.
Come on.
You're so right. We were so. I was gonna say F again. We've been so messed up
So messed
as
up.
a generation.
So messed up.
We're post-pandemic that people are like, "Don't worry about the product, just keep going. You rule."
Right.
Okay, I'm falling for it again. This chicken kind of hits for me.
I know.
And I know it's not chicken.
No. It's post chicken.
This is all the saltiest food I've ever had in my life.
The one I just had it's doing its work to me. The Olive Garden.
The Olive Garden one is good. I like the Olive Garden one more. I'm sorry.
I have such a high salt tolerance. This is taking me out right now. I feel like I'm just going to Benjamin Button and all the moisture's going to leave. I'm going to shrivel into an old man right now.
My fingers are getting fat.
This is nuts, dude.
Feels like I put moisturizer on my face today. It's gone.
It's gone. It's been soaked up by the
It's gone. One bite of this chicken.
The size of Olive Garden, it's like 30% bigger, but that's not
You want to know why? It's waterlogged.
It's just waterlogged.
It's because
It's waterlogged?
They are overcooking their noodles. Even if you look at the side-by-side fettuccinis, you can see it's not because the noodles are thicker. It's because they've absorbed so much water because their timers are probably from some corporate office and the heat is from somewhere else. Sorry.
You are the smartest people I've ever met. They're waterlogged.
You hear that, Maggie? You hear that, Maggie?
They're smart. It's waterlogged. Wow.
Listen, I have such fond memories of the Olive Garden, taking my grandma there, basketball team. My buddy from skimboarding after the better skimboarding teens made fun of us. All of this really bums me out from a sheer taste perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like this tastes like microwavable spaghetti, and this tastes like a prefab, pre-breaded microwavable chicken cutlet. You know?
But it's better than the Buca one because human error. Let me speak. The human error. Because I knew you were about to give me a little tirade, a mini tirade. The chicken at Buca Di Beppo is dry. It is burnt on the bottom. The noodles are completely flavorless. The sauce is sweet but also acidic. It doesn't do anything. The factory settings on this one, on the Olive Garden one, is more delicious.
The robot cooked better.
Yeah, the robot did better. The robot did better on the Olive Garden side, and I'm going to give this point to Olive Garden. Personally, go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
I'm doing it too. I'm going with Olive Garden just because I tasted something in my bite. This was just nothing. I couldn't Buca. It was hard for me. I also the Buca sauce never hits for me like Olive Garden's does. Probably because there's so much junk and like cocaine in Olive Garden sauce.
Yeah,
but,
cocaine rats.
Yeah.
That should be the name of our band. Cocaine Rats.
I'm just stalling for time before I have to admit that Olive Garden is better in this instance. But you know that one of Olive Garden's founders' name is Gino DeSantis, and he's from Orlando, Florida. And I can't find any proof that he's related to Ron DeSantis.
He scrubbed it.
But I feel like he probably has to be. How many DeSantises are in
Orlando?
Maybe that's misinformation. Maybe I'm out here being the problem. But anyways, this Ron DeSantis chicken's better.
Last time I went to Olive Garden, it was my uncle's birthday. He's like this. He was this really old man, and he insisted on his dessert, we brought in a box of donuts for his dessert.
Cute.
And the people at Olive Garden were like upset. I was like, you guys aren't really baking anything back there that we can order for dessert. We can bring in donuts.
Yeah, Olive Garden also is, I believe, rated the worst restaurant to work at by servers. I know.
Okay, Debbie Downer.
I know. No, listen, I'm just, as I think the food coma's hit, right? I have like post Olive Garden clarity, and I'm looking at all of this with such shame. I'm like sticky. My mouth hurts. Ultimately, we have to decide a winner. Do you two have a final champion?
I'm going to give it to Buca.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job.
I'm going to give it to Buca. I think they're healing, but at least I was fed.
Buca, I hope you can come back from the dead like Lazarus. You rise to nourish us once more. But until then, I'm glad we could give you the send-off. Giuseppe's little hole, you will always have a place in my heart.
Love that little hole.
Stop the podcast.
What? Why? What's happening?
We're doing something cool.
We finally get to tell them?
We sure do. We get to tell them all about our first official Mythical Kitchen live stream event. Survive the Mythical Kitchen. Ah! Good synchronized scream. Nicole, are you ready to face your Kitcheneer competitors and fight your way through the toughest challenges Mythical Kitchen has ever seen?
Trevor, V, and Lily won't know what hit them.
They sure won't. All of this goes down live on Thursday, April 3rd, and tickets are available now at mythicalkitchenlive.com.
Please buy tickets.
Seriously, you haven't seen Mythical Kitchen like this before. Don't miss out and get your tickets now.
mythicalkitchenlive.com.
What if I type in mythicalkitchenlive.com?
What if I told you it's the same thing?
You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy.
No,
man.
I don't like you. You're crazy.
mythicalkitchenlive.com.
Josh, I think 2025 is a year for personal growth. How do you feel about that?
Speak that into existence, sister.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone's like, oh, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start eating better. But me, I want to learn a new language. I think it's just going to expand the way that I see the world and the way that I can communicate with other people. I think it's really important.
Well, how do you plan on learning that new language, Nicole?
Rosetta Stone, obviously.
Obviously, the thing I love most about Rosetta Stone, listen, I took foreign language in high school.
Same.
You did. You listening out there probably did. I'm not great in a classroom setting. I need an actual immersive experience, and that's what Rosetta Stone gets you. You can actually practice as if you were a native speaker.
Rosetta Stone is the most trusted language learning program available on desktop or as an app, and it truly immerses you in the language you want to learn. They offer Spanish, French, Italian, German, Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Dutch, Arabic, Polish, and so much more.
There's no English translation, so you really learn to speak, listen, and think in that language. It's an intuitive process that's designed for long-term retention.
With Rosetta Stone's built-in true accent feature, you can get feedback on your pronunciation so you can perfect your accent.
Está bien. Their lifetime membership has all 25 languages for 50% off. That's a steal.
Start the new year off with a resolution you can reach. Today, a hot dog is a sandwich listeners can take advantage of this Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off.
That's a heck of a deal, Nicole. Visit rosettastone.com/hotdog. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life.
Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/hotdog today. I cannot start my morning routine without a delicious cup of coffee. It has become such a ritual to me that the thought of not having it completely disrupts my day. And if you know me, you know I'm always trying to upgrade my coffee experience. Have it be a cool new mug, a delightful new creamer, or my personal favorite, a new exciting bag of coffee beans. And there's no easier way to do the latter than with Trade. Let's be real, most grocery store coffee, not it. You deserve better. Enter Trade, aka your new bestie in the coffee game. Trade is the #1 specialty coffee marketplace in the US, hooking you up with fresh, mind-blowingly good coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. And when I say good, I mean their experts have taste-tested thousands of coffees, so you don't have to curate over 450 ridiculously good roasts. Not sure what to get? No stress. Just take their quick quiz. Literally under a minute, and boom, they'll match you with your perfect cup of Morning Joe. And if the first bag doesn't hit right, no biggie. They'll replace it for free until they absolutely nail it. Plus, every bag is roasted to order, which means you're getting peak freshness in every sip. You'll taste it, you'll smell it, and you'll probably wonder why you ever settled for anything less. Oh, and get this, Trade's prices, right in line with grocery store brands, but the quality, next level. Plus, you're supporting local roasters, so you get to feel good and caffeinated. I say that's a win-win for me. So what are you waiting for? Go take the quiz, get your coffee, and start your day the right way. Right now, Trade is exclusively offering our listeners 40% off your first order at drinktrade.com/hotdog. That's drinktrade, TRADE.com/hotdog for 40% off your first order. drinktrade.com/hotdog.
All right, Nicole and Angela, we've heard what you and I have to say. Now it's time to find out what other wacky ideas are rattling out there in the universe. It's time for a little segment we call
Opinions Are Like Casseroles.
Tell you there was a singing
it's okay.
portion.
We
Yeah.
sing sometimes.
yeah,
It was fun.
Pretty good at singing. Before we get into our listeners' hot takes, you had a hot take about broccolini. Tell me about your broccolini experience.
Barely a hot take, I'd say. But I think it's just been like the last year and a half eating out in LA. It's all exclusively only broccolini. And I just want to know.
True, queen.
And I know it's like been around forever. Like I had broccolini like. For some reason, my grandmother called it broccoli rob. Broccoli rob.
So broccoli rob is actually not broccolini. It's like rapini is what they call it.
Okay.
And there's actually a weirdly specific reason why it's called rob, because it should be spelled with a P.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, right?
Right.
So it'd be broccoli rape.
Yeah.
Is what they call it. But rape in English is pronounced very differently.
Right.
And so the B is actually Southern Italian affectation. The same
Okay.
reason capicola becomes gabagool. So that's why we call it broccoli rob. It's really funny.
Interesting. So yeah, I've had broccolini all my life. I just think I'm like it hit like maybe like the 100th time I paid for like $24 broccolini.
Right,
that was
right.
incredible, don't get me wrong. But I was like, since when is this the chicest vegetable at these places?
So chic. I don't know why either. I mean, I'd rather just have regular broccoli, right?
Same.
Give me
Fully
regular
agree. That was why I called it a hot take, because you said broccolini is infinitely better than broccoli.
I disagree.
I think it's
I also
infinitely
disagree.
better because these places are making it.
Correct.
I wonder if this same chef at, I don't even know, like stinking like Mother Wolf brings out the same thing you did with the broccolini to broccoli. I bet I'd be like, this is awesome. But why is it just only broccolini?
It's just a little bit fancier than
little bit
broccoli,
fancier,
right?
yeah.
That's the thing. It's like it's familiar to you because you know what broccoli is. When they go, oh, it's not broccoli, it's broccolini.
Broccolini.
Brussels sprouts, they had their sexy moment in the sun. It's
Yeah,
still kind of
yeah.
riding out.
Sure.
That's just a mini little cabbage, right?
Right.
We pick a new hot girl vegetable like every couple of years. It was beets for a while. They're serving it with burrata.
Yeah.
Especially the candy stripe or Kyoja
Oh,
beets.
yeah. People were obsessed with that.
God, they love that sexy little beet, right?
Yeah.
You had Brussels sprouts. Romanesco is another one.
Jerusalem artichokes.
Jerusalem artichoke.
Okay,
Remember when
you're
those-
so right.
Yeah, and broccolini is the newest
Hot
one.
girl veg. Hot girl
Stalks are too big. They try and grill it. They're undercooked. I've never had a properly cooked broccolini stem.
Oh yeah.
We got
And they don't absorb sauce. Broccoli, the florets absorb sauce in such a beautiful way.
You're 100%
You're
right.
you know,
so right.
broccolini doesn't absorb.
But it's not like more expensive than broccoli.
Oh, it is.
It is.
Oh,
A
it
bunch
is,
of a
Angela.
head-
But I
a
meant like
crown-
actually.
Yeah, a crown of broccoli from like the grocery store. What, $4? A bunch with like 3 to 5 stems, like $6, $7, $8.
But it's
like
the marketing that also makes it more expensive.
That's what I'm saying.
Sexiness is what's. Yeah, I
They're
know what you mean.
selling
It's
sex.
just like dirt and carbon.
Yeah. Would
You
like
know?
a farmer make it more expensive? Or is it these places that are just like rebranding?
Well, here's the thing. If a farmer makes broccolini less expensive, suddenly it becomes less cool, and then you're going to have a new vegetable, like white asparagus is going to come back. in
Oh
the
my
retro-
gosh.
Oh, why do you remember
90s.
White asparagus.
Whoa.
That's my broccolini take. We should get to some
Okay,
calls.
sorry.
Hey y'all, this is Scott from Falls Church, Virginia.
Hi, Scott.
And so today for lunch I picked myself up some McDagnalls, and I asked for sweet and sour sauce packets. They didn't give it to me. That's fine. So when I got home, I just made my own condiment. I mixed in hoisin sauce, some tapatio, and a French onion dip, like kind of like a door sauce, and
door
it
sauce.
wasn't good, but like I feel like I was on the brink of something that could have been good. So what would y'all have done to make that better? Anyways, much love. I'm a huge fan. Keep rocking, and yeah, that's about it. Peace.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Hoisin tapatio, French onion door sauce.
What's door sauce?
Door sauce is the random sauce. This is a great usage of that term. The randomest sauces that you just have in the door of your
fridge door.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
door sauce.
Okay.
Okay.
I have. If you want to make a sweet and sour sauce at home, You just need a little bit of soy sauce, ketchup, honey, vinegar. That's going to get you 95% of the way there. You can mix that, microwave it to get the honey to be able to dilute. That's perfect sweet and sour sauce. What do you, if you were in that situation, you didn't get your sauce, what would you go to in your own fridge door?
I'd turn back around. I'd go, hey, bud, where's my sauce? No, in my fridge door, I think the same things you just said.
Yeah.
Those three, right?
Yeah, what Josh said. I would do a hoisin. I would thin it out with a little bit of water. I would add a little bit of honey and then a splash of soy sauce, and and a squirt of sriracha, and I'd call it a day. That's what I would do.
Ooh.
That's what I would do.
I think there's a lot more ketchup in East Asian foods that we like than we think.
You're so right.
You know what I mean?
But I'm going to forego the ketchup because I have enough sweetness coming from the hoisin and the honey.
Fair.
Boom. Yeah.
You're going to say something?
No, you were going to assault a McDonald's employee is what you were going to do.
No, I wasn't going to assault
them.
Okay, Josh. I was just going to say we have a misunderstanding here.
Yeah.
I asked for sauce.
Yeah, right. Stand up for yourself.
Nothing says I'm not going to assault you by going, we have a misunderstanding here.
She's standing up for herself. Do you have a problem with that?
Yeah, sorry when a woman stands up for what she wants.
I'll leave.
It freaks you out.
If I just leave the room, I can't get canceled. I'll just leave.
Come back. Put your
I'll
headphones
just walk away slowly.
One more, Maggie. Two more.
Hi, this is William calling outside of DC area. I'm a little bit hopped up on some pre-workout, so maybe
Hell yeah!
understand that my fragments of my mind are just all over the place. But my opinion
starts itching.
is wine with a meal is a condiment or a sauce, but wine by itself is a beverage. And this comes from somebody in the wine industry who's also WSET certified. So I'm not trying to say that this is a validated opinion, just my opinion. And the best wine and snack food combination is actually Grand Cru Riesling, maybe out of Alsace, and tteokbokki.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Okay. Angela, you're champing at the bit.
No, I want to come back on and drink wine.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Let's get
I love wine.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay, now keep going.
Oh, me. Okay, one.
New creatives.
I feel like there was a big Alsatian Riesling marketing campaign for spicy food because you go to any Thai restaurant that has any sort of wine program, everyone is slinging Alsatian Rieslings.
I was
going to
say we've had Alsatian Rieslings before with spicy food, so.
And so that's the thing. So it makes sense.
Because they pair well?
Yes, apparently. I'm not a big wine snob, so I don't
Okay.
really
Especially
know
wine
stuff.
pairing.
Me either. I just see it in my future.
I just drink it. If it's in front of me, I'll say, yeah, it's good, I'll drink it, but I don't really care about
But
pairings
calling
all
it
that
a condiment or a sauce?
I don't love.
I think if you really break it down philosophically, right? Right? Because I think that's
So
what they're talking about. 'Cause there's a song.
Wait. So the
entire-
LaCroix I drank with my Buca Di Beppo, the LaCroix was a condiment?
No, because how many LaCroix pairings are you paying like $100 for to pair specifically with dishes?
I mean, give me 15 years and I can make it happen.
That's what I'm saying, though. It has the potential to be a condiment, but is not currently in its form. Where wine, right? What does a condiment do? A condiment is a general wet that accents the taste
That
of your
kind of
food.
brings us all in the same story.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me ketchup and red wine are both condiments?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to leave now. I'm going to leave.
Angela, you're the new host of Hot Dogs and Take over Nicole's chair.
Okay, I'm obsessed with the fact that it's such a pairing type of drink that it has a bigger seat at the table than a LaCroix or like a soda.
It's an accompaniment, if that's the right way to say it, but I wouldn't call it a condiment. It accompanies the meal, but it's not a condiment. A condiment is something you dip or pour over. It is, no.
It is giving the most wino said this.
Definitely. I don't mean to be that kind of edgelord Reddit kid, but I have upsetting opinions about wine, especially when he's talking about the best pairing is a Grand Cru Alsatian Riesling with tteokbokki. You know what's existed for hundreds of years without ever meeting fermented European grape juice is
Makgeolli?
tteokbokki. But I'm saying Korean food. And there are tons of Korean liquors. There is tons of soju and makgeolli and Korean beers out there, right? What the hell does fermented European grapes got to do with, nam prik in a Thai restaurant? I understand that they're great and you've put thousands of years, right, into the importance of grape wine. And I'm going to call it grape wine because there's rice wines out there that are fantastic, right?
Oh, I love
so
me
if
a rice
we
wine.
gave the same amount of attention to soju or shochu or sake producers, and certainly in
Fair.
parts of the world and in places there are, but I just hate that everything is viewed through the lens of such a Eurocentric drink.
Wow.
Right? Right? Can we get down on this?
Sure.
How many specifically Thai restaurants in LA have gotten elevated to such this like exorbitant status because of just their wine program, whereas there are other spots that maybe just serve Chong beer and have food that is just as good?
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Can
we say that?
Do you
Can
want to
we say that? Can we have an honest conversation?
For once.
You want to save that for the next pod that you're on?
once.
Whew. I got pasta this time. Let's hope I get a Sauvignon next time.
We can make that happen. Angelina, whatever your name is. Angelina Giarratana, Marie Facuso.
I walked in here an Angela. I'm leaving an Angelina.
Thank you so much. This was an absolute pleasure. You're a
great.
wonderful dining partner.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Do you want to tell the people where to? Yeah, we should probably do that.
Yeah, you can find me at my on Instagram, Angela Giarratana. It's my middle name. I didn't put that to sound more cool. It's because Angela Giarratana is taken by some woman in Sicily, and she won't give me the handle.
I love the idea of a Sicilian grandmother just blocking you on Instagram.
I'm like, you don't need it.
No.
She doesn't need it.
If you like listening to this podcast, keep it up.
Yeah, and
Keep doing that, man.
if you want to be featured on Opinions or like Casseroles, hit us up at 833-DOGPOD1. Please call us. We love to hear you.
New audio episodes every Wednesday, new videos every Sunday. Check out the Mythical Kitchen channel. We launch stuff there all the time. Check Angela for being drunk on Sauvignon Blanc next time.
It's happening.
On the podcast.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
See y'all next time.